Did you hear the story about the boy who accidentally became a father? Well, this is Dexter, and he said that when he was 16 years old, he was dating a girl who was 15, and they were so in love. They were planning out their future together. They talked about the house, they talked about the family, they even named their kids, and they were ready to get started and be grown-ups. Well, the 15-year-old girlfriend, she actually worked at a daycare because she loved kids and she always wanted to be around them. So one day she calls him and says, "Oh my gosh, there's a new baby at the daycare. She is so pretty. She's 3 months old. She is perfect. She has perfect skin. She has perfect eyes. Oh my gosh." And when she smiles, oh, I love her. And he was so excited. But since this was the early 2000s, there was no way for them to, send pictures. So he just had to take her word for it. After a few weeks of her ranting and raving about the baby, she called him and she said, "I'm going to try to ask the mom if I could keep her for the weekend." And he was like, "What mom of a 3-month-old is going to let you take her child for the weekend?" And she was like, "It's worth a shot." And on that weekend, she called him and said, "Hey, where are you?" And he says, "I'm at my aunt's house." And she says, "Stay right there. I'm on the way." She drives over to the aunt house. He comes outside. He looks into her car and he sees a car seat. He's like, "What's that?" She says, "It's the baby I was telling you about, the pretty baby, the beautiful baby. She let me keep her for the weekend." And he was like, "Oh man." All of them get together and go back to her house with her mom and her aunts, and everybody just enjoying having the baby, playing with the baby, making the baby smile. He said as soon as he saw that baby, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta be a father. I love her." He loves spending time with her. Well, Monday came and she went back to work. And at the end of the day, she called him and they're talking and he hears some baby noises in the background. And he's like, "What is that?" And she says, "Well, the mom of the little pretty girl, she didn't come back for her. She didn't pick her up after daycare today." And he was like, "That's odd." So she kept the baby. Another day, that turned into weeks. In fact, the mother never came back for the baby. At 16 years old, Dexter became a whole father, and they never got the police involved because they didn't want anybody to take the baby away. They took care of that baby, raised her up, and only had contact with the mother once the little girl was trying to go to school and they needed her paperwork. The mother eagerly signed over legal guardianship to them, and they raised that baby this entire time. Although he and his childhood girlfriend broke up a long time ago, Dexter never gave up on his daughter. He stayed a constant part of her life. Today, his daughter is 23 years old, and guess what? Dexter's now a grandfather, and he says that's even more joy than he experienced raising his daughter.
Just becoming a dad was like one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. It was just a blessing. It was just meant to be. Like, God just laid her in our laps, and I'm so forever grateful for that.
Dexter says he's a father first over everything. Some men were just meant to be dads, and it's so beautiful to see. I'm Te-Erika with the T. Follow for more.